All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Let me just move these screens around. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. Nice gold short there, guys. Good job to you guys who did get that short that we talked about in the pre-London session. I personally decided to wait till we jump back on together, but it was a nice squeeze there. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me all loud and clear. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Goldie ended up having a very nice sell-off into the New York session yesterday. Very, very, very big sell-off. Audio and video good, awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Welcome back, you guys on YouTube. If you guys are new here, my name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Trades. I've been trading gold for the past 7 years, mainly focusing on the European session here. So I'll spend the next hour and a half. You guys will break down gold. We'll have a look at NQ, ES, break down all markets. We had some amazing trades yesterday on gold. We had some fantastic calls on NQ as well. And we'll see what we get here today together. So no trades to me personally yet today, guys. I haven't really been watching the chart too much. I haven't watched the charts too much. But gold had a lovely sell-off. We called some nice gold sell stay down in our Asian market call for price to come down and tap into previous daily lows. We also called these nice gold shorts into the New York session to fill in yesterday's low. Spoke about this in our pre-New York market call. Came down beautifully all the way back down to 3,300 before then having a nice little pullback and then continued selling off here today in the Asian session. So some pretty decent volume in gold this week. We'll be trading the 150k today, guys. Depending on the range, depending on the volume, may even trade the combines. We'll see. We do have FOMC just meeting minutes today. 7 o'clock London time, 4 a.m. my time. So I won't be staying up for that. But if you guys are trading closer to that news, be careful. So it's 4 a.m. my time, 7 p.m. London time. But yeah, good to be back on with you guys. We had a great trade yesterday on stream. Some nice calls on gold, nice calls on NQ. So yeah, we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get for today. Yeah, we'll look at the chat. Yeah, look at the chat here on YouTube. Yep. Yeah, good job to you guys who did take that short pre-London. Scalp that little short down. Haven't quite come into these lows yet, but to me this is a nice target. If we can pull back, what have we got here now on gold? We got very nice double bottoms. So there's a possibility to short into these lows. There's a possibility to short into these lows. So we got time here on gold. I don't think we're going to miss anything just yet. So let's do some top-down analysis here this morning for you guys. We got London Open. London Open in about just over 20 minutes here as well, guys. And we've got the London Open today. Although Asia did have a nice sell-off today, it wasn't that big of a move that I don't believe London can still push. I still think we can get some. Nice trades. Anything for the British pound? We'll have a look at the pound futures, definitely. Let me just have a look at gold here. Do some top-down analysis for you guys. Let's have a look. Paul, it's on my YouTube channel, man. So let's have a look at Goldie here, guys. Let's do some top down here. So yesterday, what did we do on gold? What did gold do yesterday, guys? This was a very, very nice short on gold. On gold yesterday, we called these gold shorts for price to come down and fill in this wick yesterday in our New York session. We spoke about there's a high chance if we get fake out sells, there's going to be a very big wick fill here. Price came up. What did we do yesterday? We liquidated these past highs of Friday and Monday, grabbed them highs, and ended up having a huge sell-off yesterday in the New York session. There was lovely sells here in New York. Once this hourly broke out, our downside target was this low here, which short in this hourly breakout gave you about 200 ticks, which is huge in a single hour. 200 ticks is very, very, very big. Now, with where gold is at right now, with the daily grabbing highs and closing bearish, ideally I still want to be following that daily candle. But again, it's hard to say where gold's going to go right now because we're back down at our weekly support of 3,300, which is a very, very, very big level of support. Now, I do believe gold's going to break it and we're going to see a squeeze lower. But that's more so based off the much higher time frame. Like, to me, this monthly on gold looks like we're coming in for a big rollover. Obviously, you know, we're just intraday trading, so it doesn't really matter too much what the monthly time frame does. But sometimes it's nice just to have that higher picture understanding, to understand what are we going to do on the intraday time frame, so we know what to look for. Intraday time frame is, you know, for pressing buy and sell based on what the higher time frame is telling us. And right now, this to me is looking pretty bearish. So monthly is looking good for a rollover. The only thing is the weekly is at major support, same as the daily. The daily is at big support, tapping into previous daily lows as well. So that's why we're calling shorts in Asia for price to come down and grab the daily lows. Well, that was a 150 tick push as well, which was very, very, very nice. So in terms of what could we see for the London session, given the fact that Asia's pushed down, pre-London's pushed down, could London Open actually now start to give gold a little bit of a pullback here? Maybe. You know, even if we're going to break this 3,300 level, an initial bounce off here, anyone who's shorting here is probably taking profit around this level. So there's the possibility to see gold have a little bit of a pullback here. 4 hour time frame, just closed very bearish here in the futures chart. Now we have just left a nice little double bottom here. Look at this, 2 equal lows there. So what do we know? Same as what we spoke about yesterday for these longs. People jump in shorts, sit their stops just above. Same thing here. People jump in longs, sit their stops down just below. So there's the possibility of continuing to sell this off here on gold, where we may see something like this, where we come down and grab the lows, and then maybe then, you know, there's the potential for gold to have a bit of a pullback. If we don't grab these lows and we just pull back from here, then anywhere above these highs, there's also the possibility to go short. So this previous hourly here, pre-London, liquidated the previous hourly highs, held this VWAP level, held this pretty nice breakout here, grabbed the previous highs, and continued selling off. So grab the highs, close bearish. I mean, it's got 20 minutes until it's going to close, so anything can happen on gold, like we know. But right now, we're grabbing the lows and also closing bullish. So a little bit of a range being created here on gold. The only nice thing is we do have a very nice double bottom, which if I just show you guys, it's actually it's also a double bottom on the currency chart as well. So you got 2 equal 4 hour lows here, which, you know, the way that we know gold loves to do. If gold's going to have a really big retracement, it loves to come down and liquidate these lows before doing that. So there is the potential for a liquidity spike to grab previous 4 hour lows here on the spot chart. Current 30 minute has just had a big strong reaction. Now there was a 15-minute breakout sell here at 7 a.m. London time, which we spoke about on our pre-London stream. To me, the range just wasn't really worth it. You know, what did you push down? I mean, it did push down 40 ticks, which is quite nice. But I probably would have taken the break even there, because I would have been at least holding into these lows anyway. So now that we haven't grabbed these lows and we're starting to break back above, we shall see if gold is going to break back above 3,300. Otherwise, 3,300 could be a good fake out sell level. What I mean by a fake out sell is if price closes back above, all we want to see is price grab highs, close back below with an engulfing candle, and then great, then we can get our shorts. So we got a pretty neutral bias today here for the London session as of right now. I'm very open to either side of the markets. I was short in Asia, short bias I should say. I didn't short it personally. I've been busy today, I didn't get a chance to trade Asia. But my short bias was shorting into daily lows. Well, now that we've liquidated these daily lows, can gold start to find some support and have a bit of a pullback? You know, where would we pull back up into? Potentially back up into these highs at 33.20. So we'll keep an eye here on gold, guys. I think, to be honest, we're going to need to see this London Open. So with us needing to see this London Open on gold, we can probably break down some other markets. We'll have a look at copper. We can have a look at NQ. Someone asked about the pound as well. Yep, we can have a look at pound. Look at copper, Trump doing Trump things. Yeah, I saw copper had an absolutely insane close yesterday. A ridiculous close on copper. We'll have a look at that as well. But yeah, Trump's doing Trump things, that's for sure. We'll break down all markets this morning, guys. Remember, we had that lovely buy yesterday, which is a nice little scalp. So we'll see if we can get some. More trades here today. But so far, it's been a good week in the market. It's been a very active week. Let me just see how this 15 is going to close. If we wick the highs like this, and yeah, I'll probably wait for the next 15, which will then also be that hourly closure. You did just tag previous 30-minute highs, which is interesting. You tag the lows, tag the highs. Someone asked about the pound. We'll have a look at the pound before we do anything. Let's have a look at the pound. Daily time frame. Oh, look at this. Didn't we speak about these highs one time? So that's the last time we looked at the pound. Last time we looked at the pound was back in May. Had a nice fake out buy from here. Look at what the pound's done. What do we do? Same as gold. Comes up, liquidates the highs, has a nice sell-off. Nice support though. Very, very nice support. Well, you could probably sit that around 1.36 is probably a nice psychological level there. I like to make my key levels 50% of the color compared to my support and resistance levels. I'll make it 100%. So, big support here on the pound. Could the pound find some support here? US dollar continue to get weaker. Pound could continue going higher. I mean, it's a pretty decent liquidity grab yesterday. You came down, tagged the lows of the support. So pound is a potential buy area for more of a swing. I don't really day trade the pound, but for a swing trade, maybe you might get an intraday trade. Look at this, you're tagging previous week lows. You may pull back up. But what did we do last week? We also tagged the highs, closed bearish. Now we're tagging the lows. We're going to hold this support and continue pushing. So let me have a quick look at the monthly. Yeah, monthly's looking pretty strong. So daily to me looks bullish. 4-hour time frame. You had this nice, you're having a very nice fake out here. Look at this. You broke the support. You liquidated the lows, closed right back above. This is actually looking really nice. Dav, if that's your name, who was asking about pound, I would be interested to hear your thoughts if our thoughts are lining up. If you're still here, man. But to me, this looks nice for longs. You got a nice double top sitting above here. This could be a nice target. Back up into what 1.3660. I would say here. Look, you just came down. You've also liquidated the previous hour low. So I mean, it's looking good here. I don't day trade the pound, but it's looking good for longs now. Where's Dav? Where you at, Dav? What was your analysis? I'm always keen to hear your guys' analysis when you do ask me to break it down, see if it lines up or not. Because that's you kind of got here as well. Look at this, nice little left shoulder. Here's your head. Here's your right shoulder. So yeah, I mean, pound longs from here look good to me. See if you squeeze these highs and then have a much deeper retracement back up into at least 1.3630 as more of a I wouldn't say a scalp, but more of a day trade where you could actually hold that for an hour or so. Sure. Yeah, nice. All good, man. No rush. No rush. I'm always just interested. Yeah, when you guys do ask me to break down, I'm always keen to see what you guys think as well, to see if our analysis lines up. And if it does, it's like an extra confluence. I think the euro is looking clean for a trendline break. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look. This pound is looking very nice here. Let me have a quick look at gold. Gold probably coming to grab previous 15 highs. Yeah, we want to see the London Open on gold. Let's have a look at the euro. Let's have a look at the euro. Let's get rid of all of this for a second. What's this? Let's have a look at the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame. So we've been very bullish on the euro. We're coming down. We're tapping into previous weekly lows. So could we find some initial support off these previous weekly lows? Let's have a look at the daily. I think. Oh yeah, this is looking good for a morning star play as well. Look at this. So you closed very bearish here on Monday. Tuesday came down, liquidated lows, held support. So if this daily flips bullish, the euro looks good for a scalp long here as well, same as the pound. Again, literally exactly the same thing. Came down, liquidated the previous lows, and you're already starting to break out. So to me, this looks... I think the pound is a nicer setup because this is a pretty strong liquidity wick here, which the pound doesn't have. So the pound, you have clear targets. The euro, you don't have as much. But I agree, and you do have that very nice trend line coming down here that you'll very likely squeeze. One thing about the euro and the pound is they do follow the same principles as gold of, if you've got a trend line coming down, you see something like this, people jump in shorts, that you're more likely to see a decent breakout. And that's where most people get trapped. Trying to short trend line, sit in stops above, doesn't work on gold, it doesn't work on the euro, also doesn't work on the pound. So then you could take this point and go, okay, cool. This could now be my liquidity target. Why? Because it's the third touch of the trend line, and you could also be targeting some nice highs back up here. So delete the trend line, mark on the touches, they're going to become your liquidity levels, and they could be some nice buy targets. So yeah, they're both looking good. They're both looking nice. You had a nice hourly fake out here as well. What's an hourly fake out? It's when price breaks support and then closes right back above. That's your fake out. Let me make this 100%. So what do? We bounced off the support. We broke it. What does that do? That brings in some sellers, and then we grab the lows and break right back above. People get stopped out, and then you continue pushing. So there was already nice buys here at 6 a.m. But I would say there's a high chance you're going to come up and squeeze these highs here. Now, would that be a worthwhile range? 20 ticks, not bad. They're both looking good to me. They're both looking good for some longs. I don't day trade the pound or the euro. I used to swing trade them more, but they look good. They look good. How long we got? We got 10 minutes till the London Open here, guys. 10 minutes until the London Open. Longs looking good for buy. Yeah, nice. Looking good for buys. Yep, I agree, man. Yeah, hour and a half. Yeah, gold. We're gonna see. Gold. We're gonna see the London Open. We had a nice sell-off here pre-London, so I want to see how this hourly closes on gold. See if we're gonna get that London fake out or not. Let's have a look at NQ. Remember, guys, we called some very nice buys on NQ. Where was our buys from NQ yesterday? Here. These are the buys we called yesterday, guys. Wow, look at that. It was a choppy New York session. I didn't trade New York yesterday. It was a very, very choppy session. These were the London buys yesterday. Remember we called this fake out here to come up and liquidate this high here. So we came up, grabbed these highs, and ended up pulling back. So you had a perfect entry and also a perfect exit. It's a very, very, very nice call on NQ yesterday. Exit to perfection as well. That's what's also very important. It's not just about having the perfect entry. It's also about knowing when to get out. And that's what these liquidity levels do. They give you targets as levels to know when to liquidate and when to get out. But it looks like you had an extremely choppy day on NQ yesterday. Did anyone trade NQ yesterday? I haven't. This is my first time looking at this since we looked at it yesterday. That was a lot of chop. And like I say, I don't get me wrong, I have some good calls on NQ. Sometimes you look at NQ on days like this and it is so easy to get trapped in lots of bad trades here. So you need to know when to walk away from NQ. And I think yesterday, I mean, even since, 8th, which was previous day, you know, it's been a very, very choppy day. This is where everyone gives back their losses because they can't bear to not be in a trade 24/7. This is where you need to sit on your hands and play the patience game of trading. That's the hardest part here. Yeah, I mean, either Sean, I started to watch NQ more in the New York session. I haven't watched it since maybe last week. I kind of keep an eye on it. But to me, gold yesterday in New York session was looking much nicer than NQ. If I was trading this, I don't know what I would have been looking for, to be honest. I guess the New York Open, this was a huge sell-off pre New York, right at the Open, right at the New York Open. There's a huge sell-off, and then we came down, we rejected, re-grabbed the lows. So you could have been trying to buy that up for a pullback. You maybe would have been targeting some highs. Yeah, nice, Sean. No, you're nice. Yeah, good man. How did we close yesterday? Still closed bullish, but we haven't grabbed Monday's low. Unless ES has grabbed the lows, that could be a potential downside target. No, it hasn't. Excuse me, guys. Let me just grab a tissue. 2 seconds. We got London Open in 5 minutes, guys. 2 seconds. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look. So, yeah, daily chart here on ES. To me, it's looking like you need to come down and liquidate some more lows. Same as the highs potentially on NQ. Let's have a look. So how did that daily close? Let's get rid of all this analysis. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's keep it clean here. Keep it clean. Have a look at some pure price action here. So what have we done here? So remember, Friday was 4th of July, so it's kind of hard to take any notice of that candle. Monday opened, big push down. Where did we come into? Very big support at, sorry, this should be, that's not just a coincidence, it should be 22,800. So we came down, supported 22,800, bounced back higher. Didn't really close above too much yesterday, but you did still close bullish. 4-hour time frame here on NQ. Okay, it's looking very choppy. You do have a double bottom here. How long we got? We got 3 minutes till the London Open here, guys. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's have a look here on yes. I'm just trying to see if we have grabbed them lows or not. 3 p.m. yesterday. I have too many charts open here, that's why. So, yes, you have. So, okay, cool. So, this is what's very key, guys. If you watch ES, if you trade NQ, it's important to watch ES. Now, why would this not be a short target to short into this double bottom? Well, we take a quick look at ES. ES has grabbed these lows here. The lows of 3 p.m. yesterday, they have been grabbed. So, ES has grabbed the lows, so that could be enough to start pushing higher here. You came down, you did tag some previous lows. You didn't come down to this low, but again, if you watch both charts, you'll see ES has grabbed the lows, therefore NQ doesn't always need to. So there's a little bit of a divergence there. Now, see, I mean, what do we do here in Asia today? Asia, a little bit of a sell-off, not really too much. Big support being formed here. You do have, I think yesterday was, the buys yesterday were much nicer. You do have a trend line coming down. Now, what does that mean? That means if you've got a trend line coming down, that's when most people are trying to short, therefore you're trying to buy up into that. So, if I had to give a bias, now it's looking very, very choppy on NQ, guys. Very, very, very choppy. I'll be very careful. We had some great buy calls yesterday, which was a very, very nice trade, all based off the hourly time frame as well. You know, you're bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. It's looking pretty choppy. However, given the fact that you have just had this big liquidity wick, longs would make the most sense on NQ. I wouldn't be selling this personally. Sells wouldn't really be on the cards to me. The only way I would consider shorts on NQ is a strong closure below the support, then I would consider sells. So sells don't really have any interest to me. Therefore, if I am just looking for longs, where would I want to get long? Well, let's have a look. We have support being formed here. Very nice support being formed here. You're looking like you're about to get a nice breakout back above this level. So I would say if NQ in the next hour can open, come down for a little bit of a bottom wick, I would be looking for buys back up into this resistance. It's starting to get a nice, squeeze here. So if the next hour on NQ opens and pushes down, longs look good. Longs look good. I do like I like NQ to come all the way back up into 23,000 again. So I would say longs for the London Open on NQ make the most sense. Now, if you are going to get long, you know, does that mean you just start buying up here with a stop all the way down here? Well, not really, because there's no risk reward. So if you are going to get long, you know, you want to be dropping down to the lower time frame, seeing if you can refine an entry and actually put the risk reward in your favor and make it make sense. But that could be you could get some nice buys. Instant bottom wick on the next hour on NQ, and you could get some longs. Quick $750 on GBP. Nice. Beautiful work, man. Beautiful work. Was getting long just as you went through the chart. Nice. That's what we like to hear, man. It's not a signal class, not a signal service, but you know, if you guys can confluence my analysis with yours, you know, hopefully it gives you more confidence. I'm still watching gold. I'm watching gold on my other screen here. So yeah, lovely buy there on pound. Very, very, very nice. Gold on the 15-minute has just broken out there, guys. So if we look at this hourly time frame here on gold, it's very hard to call. You're grabbing highs, closing bearish, grabbing lows, closing bullish. So in order for me to trade the next hour, based off what the past, 3 hours have done, it's a little bit tough. I do like buys on gold. I don't like how we didn't grab the lows though. Yeah, we can have a look at crude, absolutely. Yep, we can have a look at the DXY. Yep, definitely. I'll get the DXY up on my other chart here. See, again, liquidity down here, which is an overall short. Maybe we'll come back up and squeeze these highs. So we may be looking for something like this. Come up, grab these highs, then maybe see if we can get short. Would this range be worth it to buy up into this previous high? 40 ticks? Maybe. If we can get good risk reward, maybe. Yeah, we can have a look at the DXY. Let's have a look. So if I go, let me share my screen. Let's have a look. How do I... You see that screen? You guys can see the trading view chart, right? Let's have a look. DXY. So, I mean, the DXY has been in a huge sell-off. US dollar's been on a one crazy sell-off. You had this big massive range that you were in for some time. Well, what do we know that ranges love to do? Doesn't matter if you're trading the weekly or trading the 5 minute. It's the exact same principles. For you guys who trade ranges, the best way to trade ranges is wait for the range to be created. Two touches, and then what do we love to do? We love to come up, take out the highs, and then where do we come after that? Right down for the lows. So that's exactly what the US dollar's done here. That's why you have had a huge sell-off, and we also spoke about this sell-off back in March this year, because it was also, look at that, nice little inverse hand shoulders with, what's that? Nice liquidity below. Why is this liquidity? Because what did you not do here before this push up? You never re-grabbed the lows before having this huge push. So the US dollar is still looking very bearish. You are finding some support here. You can kind of see where we tapped into. Again, it's just a high time frame outlook. I don't look at the DXY on a intraday time frame to kind of analyze it with gold. I just don't find they correlate that well. Higher time frame though, absolutely. So to me, this could still roll over, and the US dollar could still continue to get weaker. But could you see some short-term, strength for a month or two to come back up and finally retest this breakout that you've never really retested? You've just been, once you close bearish in February, you've just been non-stop having a huge sell-off on the US dollar. So could it be time that you come for a bit of a pullback and you get some short-term US dollar strength? Which would make sense when we're looking at the higher time frame on gold. We're looking for that higher time frame, big short on gold, back down into 3,000. Well, it would make sense here if the US dollar is going to gain strength. Gold's going to continue getting weaker. Daily time frame. Let's see. I mean, daily time frame, just in terms of what we could be looking at for today. Remember what we just said about the pound. Pound's looking strong. Euro's looking strong. Why? Because this is a potential evening star play to see the US dollar get weaker and have a bit of a pullback. So short-term US dollar weakness before going higher would give the pound and the euro that push up before you come back down, hold these levels, and then the buyers step back in and maybe take this for finally a steeper pullback. So I would say intraday US dollar weakness makes the most sense. That's why when we look at that pound chart and we look at the euro chart, we can kind of correlate the two and line them up together. I don't look at the US dollar very much. I don't really find it helps me with my intraday trading for gold, but it's always nice just to have a look at every now and again. Let me go back to my currency chart here. Crude, let me just have a quick look at Goldie. What do we want to see here, guys? So we're coming up, we're grabbing the previous highs. 30-minute, never grabbed the lows, closed very bullish though. So the thing is, on gold right now, could you say longs into here? I'm off, guys. Have a good day and trade safe. Yeah, you too, man. Good job on the trades today, man. Fantastic shorts there. Lovely work, man. Lock yourself out. Enjoy the day. Yeah, could you say gold buys up into this liquidity level? I mean, you can, but my only concern is yesterday, we had a phenomenal sell-off. We spoke about the sells yesterday, but a phenomenal sell-off yesterday. So do we really want to be fighting that just for the sake of trying to take a pullback trade? Not really. If I'm gonna, if I'm gonna take a trade, I'm gonna take a pullback trade, or just a small intraday trade. Ideally, I still want to be following this huge push down, because from here to here, you could squeeze out 60 ticks, but you could also just get stuck within here, and you don't want to give back, yesterday's amazing profits. Again, that's what we always say in trading, guys. It's not about taking more good trades. It's just about filtering out the bad ones and knowing when to trade and when not to trade. For me personally, unless something changes, which it easily can in 10 minutes, and I get a decent 15-minute breakout in either direction, then great, we could trade. If we actually close above this high, then I would trade a pullback into here, and that would be a much more worthwhile range. I would rather trade this range than this little range. I want to put, if I'm going to take a trade, I want to put the risk to reward in my favor. Well, the risk here is very minimal, but the reward here is very minimal, but the reward here is very good, much better. So if I'm going to risk my money, I want to do it. I want to risk my money on a range that makes sense. So closures above here, which we could still get together. I'll look for longs. Let me have a look at the order chart, and if I want the sells to continue squeezing these lows, which would be my preferred setup, because at least if the sells were following the daily bias, closure back below, and then I'll go short. And if we do go short here on gold, our next downside target is these lows all the way back down here. So I prefer the shorts. Shorts give me a much better range, and they also allow me to follow yesterday's push. However, if we do close above, we'll reassess. So I have a very neutral bias on gold right now. Which neutral bias, it's not a bad thing. It just means you need to be much more reactive. Having a look at crude. Let's have a look. So, crude having a nice pullback. I still let's get rid of this. I think I've got too many charts open here. So these are the sales we spoke about yesterday once price broke this level, to see if you can continue squeezing down. However, you did grab the highs, close bearish, and then push straight back up. I didn't take that short, but that would have been a valid trade. It would have been a valid loss. But now with where crude is right now, let's get rid of this. To me, we are at a big resistance and a potential pullback level. With how bearish we have been, previous weeks, last week of June was a huge sell-off, liquidated so many highs and had a massive sell-off. I like crude to come back and down into 65s one more time. Daily time frame, yesterday we came up, we grabbed the highs, we failed to close above. So intraday, could you be getting short here? Not yet. Although the daily does look nice for shorts, intraday still bullish. You have resistance, you broke it, you came down, you liquidated a lot of lows, held support, and you're still squeezing higher. So I wouldn't want to be shorting it just yet. If I was going to short crude for a much bigger play down into 65, I'd need to see a pretty strong breakout, because right now you're creeping higher. So with that being said, if me not being able to short until the closure back below here, so you could say, okay, cool. Well, would you buy? Sorry, I wouldn't buy yet, because I don't really have any targets to buy. With yesterday wicking highs and closing below previous daily highs, which was here, I'm not a huge fan of buying against that, and I also wouldn't want to buy when you're coming right back up into resistance. So I personally would wait for a bearish breakout on crude to short. I wouldn't be, if you really wanted to buy, you'd be buying back down at this support. I wouldn't be taking any new trades here just yet. See, a little bit of time here. Hey Aaron, indeed gold did not grab the spot of 32.86. Yep. And no break back above 33.10. So can we say it is a no trade at the moment? I think that's a very smart analysis, man. So you're absolutely correct. You haven't grabbed the lows, and you're kind of stuck in a little bit of a range. So yeah, I would say as of right now, we need to stay patient on gold. Definitely, man. Definitely. which is good. You know, that's what I'm saying to you guys. You know, it's all about, you know, it's not all about being able to read when to trade. It's also about being able to read when not to trade, because that's where everyone goes wrong. You know, like I say, we all you know, we all make money here. We always make money in trending markets, but it's the ranging markets where you give it all back, and that's what is a good understanding of what you just analyzed. Is you're trying to analyze when not to trade, which is very smart. That's what we have to get good at. Get good at knowing when to trade and when not to trade. So right now, no trades on gold. If we get a 50-minute bearish breakout, I'll short gold into this double bottom. And you got a decent stop loss here as well. So in 4 minutes, there is the potential for a trade on gold. If it can break back below this level, we can short it minimum down into here for about 50 ticks and see if you can squeeze lower for about 100. So we could have some trades soon here on gold. See if this 50-minute gives us something. Only concern is this hourly is a little bit messy. You know, grabbing highs bearish, grabbing lows bullish, grabbing highs. The only nice thing about gold right now is this double bottom. I believe a lot of people are probably getting long here, sitting stops down just below. Wow. Oh, look at the sky. It's always like that. Oh, look at that. It came up and just tagged the highs there. So you wouldn't be buying here, you'd be buying before you tag them high. Did you tag the highs? Yeah, you did. So you just grabbed the highs. Fake out for sells. Fake out for sells. I would say sells below here on crude. Sells below, sorry, not crude, NQ. I would say sells below, what's this, about 22,870 at least. It is very, it's very, very choppy, I agree. It's extremely choppy. I wouldn't force trades in this range just for the sake of taking a trade, guys. If you want a good trade, you'll get a good trade once price actually breaks out. Yeah, like I said, you guys, these are the markets and these are the times where everyone gives back all of their gains. And then by the time the market does break out, whether it's today, tomorrow, whenever, you'll always be chasing your tail. You'll always be chasing back losses. So there is a possibility. It doesn't mean we can't trade NQ. I would just say be careful trying to trade it right now. Like I say, these wicks and these, you know, break above, break back below, you can see how tough it is to actually read this price action. So that's the market's giving you a good indication that you need to stay patient. Yeah, do we have it? Do we have it here? Let's have a look. Maybe an area to find some support. Let's have a look, man. Good area to find some support. Let's have a look, man. Let's have a look. Yes, I think so. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, very big support. I'm just having a look there. Let's have a look. Last week did grab highs and close resistance though, but yeah, this is big support. Yeah, definitely. So you got big support here, big resistance here. Daily time frame. Yeah, looks good. Actually, looks like that. It looks like similar to pound and euro. That to me, that looks great for longs. At least into yesterday's high. That is a very nice morning star play. If this was gold, I'd be buying this all day on the daily candle. Because yesterday you came down, you tagged previous day lows and held support. As a pullback, yeah, you could easily be seeing a pullback back up into these highs. What, back up into 114? How could you find an entry here? Let's have a look. So you got previous daily highs, which would be a management point. You'd be targeting ideally much higher though. Let's go. I'm still watching gold, guys. Don't worry. I got my own Goldie on my other chart here. We're not messing too much on Goldie. We got time. Maybe it's 50%. 49. No, that won't do. It has to be perfect. 50. Not quite. There you go. So I would say, yeah, this is looking really nice actually. I only got 2.5 hours. I mean, ideally you'd want to be in long here. If you're not already in long, I'd see if you could maybe bottom wick, grab the lows, and then see if you can get back in. If it does do that, which kind of looks like it does, grabs the lows. And I'll be seeing if you could buy up into this liquidity level and even runners into 114. Yeah, this looks like a nice chart, man. I've never traded this, but yeah, it's looking like a nice chart. You kind of see here, I would say, to give you the best setup as well, you know, if you're not already long from here, I wouldn't be buying here. I'd say I'd be buying around here. Very valid stop loss below that level. You're trying to see if you can squeeze this higher. Gold on the 15 minute just closed. Bearish doji on gold. Potential sell stop on the low. Maybe not. Straight back higher. I think the trade of the day was that pound setup. Yeah, look at that. Grab the lows, broke out. This is good to continue higher. The euro still hasn't tagged the highs. Euro still looks good for longs. Gold not so much. Yeah, we got some time here on these markets, guys. We got time. Remember, one candle can change anything, so don't force it. Don't jump in the trade. You know, one 30-minute candle or one breakout can change anything. So if you force it now before the markets make sense, you'll be frustrated for not being patient. Does Mrs. Aaron trade? Does Mrs. Aaron trade?
What?
Do you trade?
Mrs.
Yes. MRS, whatever that means.
That means we're married, so...
Do you trade?
Check in.
No.
No. I'm too emotional too.
Yeah, it's way too emotional. Way too emotional. Maybe we'll do it. We'll do a series.
Let's see who's emotional when you don't get to know.
Nah, both of us trading is not a good idea.
Why? Because
We'll both be stressed 24/7.
I'll do it. You trade futures, I'll trade options.
Deal.
I'll trade a future.
About to trade Aaron right now.
That's what I just said.
Did you?
Yeah, I just
Oh,
said
sorry.
trade our future.
Emotional damage. Cattle again. Coach Hoop. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. I swear, we're missing out on not trading cattle. This is crazy. Wow, look at that. Wow, since, when was that? 2nd of July. What day was that? 2nd of July. Last Wednesday. Look at that daily fake out. That was huge. Broke bearish on the 1st. Wednesday came in. Tapped into previous day lows. Closed bullish. That was an incredible swing trade. Look at that. That was huge. Even today. Wow, look at this price action today. What time does cattle move? Does it follow? I mean, it doesn't look like it follows. This is huge. Is this all New York? Yep, all New York. Yesterday, New York. Yep. Continued huge push. Oh, New York. That's phenomenal. That was huge. Yeah, all-time high. Look at that. What would that mean for a swing trade? Yeah, wow. Yep, 8:30 Central. Yeah, huge. That's a crazy push. Back at the all-time highs. Look at that. I think wow, look at that. Even since, look at that weekly. If that was gold, that is a picture perfect buy. You close bearish, grab the lows, close bullish, exactly the same as the daily. Look at this. Look at the daily here. It moves really nice. Nice. Someone had to do it. Look at this. Look at this daily. This daily here, guys. Exactly the same as. Look at this. What did this day do? Close below, and then what did this day do? Grab lows, close right back above. Well, look at the exact same thing here on the weekly time frame. Close bearish, grab the lows, close bullish. Huge buys. That would have been a fantastic swing trade. That's a huge push. I've never ever traded cattle. I don't want to start trading all-time highs, but I'm getting some FOMOs. And Code Tribune, been speaking about this since I think we were all the way back down at these lows. It has been moving incredible. That is huge. Any other you guys ever traded this before? I've never ever traded. That is absolutely incredible. That's probably one of the nicest moves I've seen, other than platinum. Yeah, crazy move in a market that people don't look at. I know that's what's crazy, and it looks like it moves very well. Like nice, clean price action. Really, really, really nice, clean price action. Just breaking out, ranging, continuation. Really, really nice structure. Yeah, that is huge. Absolutely phenomenal. I know, 30 markets, everyone's traded NQ and ES. I know, that's why I've never really traded NQ and ES. I've always focused on gold. But this is a really, really clean. If it always moves like this is, I mean, even in times when you were having a bit of a correction after this huge push, even this downward move, this was still, look how nice this is. You're breaking low, you're pulling back, you're continuing. Here, failed to create a new low, reversal point, continued breaking up. That's huge. That's huge. Let me just have a quick look at gold. Let's have a look. Natural gas too. Yeah, I used to yeah, now that we said I'll probably break. Yeah, that's the thing. Now that you're at these all-time highs. Again, I guess you'd want to start to see some big pullbacks, but you wouldn't want to be selling here. That's for sure. This is huge. Can you say it again? Don't force the trade if the setup is not there. Record it and play it before I take a trade. Absolutely. Absolutely. Natural gas. See, natural gas I have traded before. I found it very hit and miss on natural gas personally. Sometimes I'd look at it and it moved really well. Then other times I would look at it kind of similar to copper. And it wasn't that consistent. For me personally, I never really found that good consistency on copper and natural gas. Let's have a look at copper though. Copper has had a phenomenal daily run. Huge daily run. Yesterday was just insane. That $5 region again. Look at this, guys. What do we do here? Look at this. Came down, hit the lows, broke below $5. Instantly broke back above, and that is a once in a year fake out candle. Imagine if all fake outs were that big. So this is kind of what we were saying earlier. I know some of you guys, I can't remember who mentioned it, but some of you guys were talking about buys here in London. I know, although you can see that there's the possibility of coming up to tap into this resistance. We still can't ignore that this is a huge resistance level, and it's pretty overextended to me. So I wouldn't really, I wouldn't want to be a buyer up here. Although if you look at the daily, you could say potential gold shorts soon, guys. Potential gold shorts soon. Although you could say, there's a high chance you'll fill in yesterday's high, which is true. But remember, if you're going to be buying into daily highs, you still want to be doing it at a logical level. So now that you are back down below previous 4-hour lows, watching lower time frame price action below this 4-hour low for potential longs, it could be interesting. You may squeeze down a little bit more, though. This is a very, very big sell-off here. So I wouldn't want to be fighting this move down just yet. You want to be following the charts, not fighting them. So although, you could say buys into daily highs, yeah, not a bad idea. Does it make sense right now? Personally, not yet. Gold's starting to find some resistance here, guys. We may have some sells soon here on gold. You just came up. You just tagged the previous highs. Let's have a look, and you're seeing if you can break back lower. So let's see here. On gold. Let's see if we're gonna break. I do like gold shorts into this previous 4-hour low. So the 4-hour lows. So the 4-hour here on gold broke back below major resistance. Broke back below 3,300. So we're trying to see if this 4-hour continues selling off. Doesn't have to, but in terms of trading what we see and what's right in front of us, it makes the most sense to maybe come back down and hold some of these levels. NQ back up. Let's see. So we've got 5 minutes until this 15 close here on gold, and that'll be the first 30-minute closure of the London session as well, guys. Yeah, NQ trying to get back higher. So you can't, again, this is where it gets tough. You broke above, you tagged the highs, broke back below, trying to get back above. I personally, again, this is just my plan, it would be sit on my hands on NQ personally. I wouldn't want to try and get chopped up in there. you know, in them ranges on NQ and pretty much all markets, it almost gives you them false signs of trying to break out and gets you trapped in the longs. Then it breaks back below and you go, maybe it's time to go short. Then it closes back above and then you try and go long. And then before you know it, you've taken, you know, 5+ trades in the past hour, which is not what you want to do. So, you know, you may continue squeezing higher. The longs today, I do like longs today. I just personally, especially even in the London session, I would be careful getting trapped in this range. I'd let NQ have much more volume, let the markets come to you. Short the 15 flip, yeah, it's worth a shot in for sure. I think it's worth a shot, half risk. Where are we traveling to next? Heading back to Europe in August, man. Heading back to Europe in August. So what are we doing here? Still breaking higher. Again, little bit choppy here on gold as well, guys. Where you take that flip? Yeah, it was worth the trade. A good risk reward. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So if you short here, what was your stops? 20 for 70 to 80. Good trade. Especially at half risk. Sometimes you need to take a real position in the markets to get a feel for how we're moving. So let's see this. I just want to see this 15-minute close, which is in 3 minutes. I want to see if this 30 minutes going to continue pushing bullish, or are we going to close below. We are starting to see some signs of volume, which is good. You can see the candles are starting to move a bit more now. I don't want to watch the 5-minute too much because I know the 5 minutes looking pretty choppy. I like these shorts. I do like these shorts. I do also like that it's a double bottom in the currency chart as well. Yep, let's have a look. Where was our chart? So, with the pound, let's have a look here. It looks good. It looks good. You broke back above 1.36. You did tap into previous daily high. Sorry, not previous daily high. Was that previous daily high? No. What was that level? Previous daily highs are much higher. You got much more room. You tapped into this little intraday level where I believe, you know, you see this breakout here. I believe a lot of people would have got short there, sitting stops just above. So you have hit that first liquidity level. If you start re-breaking here, you should be good to fill this big range. You came down, tagged lows, closed bullish. I mean, there's you know, you can still pull back. You can pull back into this level. Doesn't mean your trade's wrong. Just needs a pullback before it can then go higher anyway. I'll say if you re-break these highs, you should be good for a decent pullback. If not, at least into these levels. We got the first 30-minute close coming of the London session here, guys. Let's see if gold's going to give us a little bit of sense of direction here. Remember, guys, we do have FOMC meeting minutes today as well. It's only meeting minutes, but still could bring some volume into the markets. Not a bad 15-minute closure here, guys. Coming up, grabbing highs. You're still trying to hold this 3,300 level. A top wick on the next 15, and it could be worth a half risk short. I think a half risk short just because we're in a bit of a range, and you're looking for something like this. It's a pretty nice, or maybe even, depending on how this closes, maybe even just one contract. Let me skip this copyright-free music. It's not the best, is it? Yeah, top wick in the next 15. I'm going to get short here, guys. One contract. One contract. Oh, no, I've broken the music completely. Usually just the rap music the most, man. I'm a bit weird. I like a big mix, to be honest. I'd say mostly rap, yeah. So 30-minute grab the highs, close back below. So you can kind of say you got a nice fake out of 3,300. So if we get a top wick, an instant top wick, I'd like to market execute some sells. I don't want to put in a sell stop because I don't want to short at this support. I'd rather market execute here and see if we can get short as these lows here. Joe's Ren. No, I did not. I did not. That was a nice. That was a nice 15-minute closure. Nice 30-minute closure. Again, the only concern is, and again, this is something we've been speaking about a lot. The only concern is the high time frame. The hourly is in a little bit of a range, guys. So that's why, you know, if you do want to short gold, I would say reduce the risk. If you guys saw the trade breakdown I posted yesterday of 2 losses from last week, it was all based off the higher time frame not looking the cleanest. So maybe we could take it on a combine. Let's see. Could you short it from here? Yeah, it's not really worth shorting it from here. If I'm going to get short here on gold and trade this range, I want to at least be short 3,300. I mean, currency did tag it a little bit nicer. Yeah, the whole reason for this short would be selling into this liquidity level. Same as the buys that we took together yesterday. Where did we take buys? We took buys up into this liquidity level. Off the fact that people are shorting here. Stop sitting just above there. You guys who were on yesterday's stream, we took this one together. Based off people selling here, sitting their stops just above. What does price do? Tags the highs, has the huge sell-off. So pretty much the exact same thing here. I would imagine a lot of people who are trying to get long here on gold, where they sit in their stops, just down below this support. So there's a high chance you come down and squeeze them lows. Like your analysis. Good work. Thank you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you being here. If you guys weren't here yesterday, remember, go back and watch yesterday's stream. We did take a nice gold buy together and called a nice NQ trade. No trades for me so far yet here on the day, guys. Anything can change, though. We execute when the time is right. Sells here do look nice. If I just want to get short at a good level. You've broken back below 3,300. You came up and tagged previous 30-minute highs. So you're trying to short a 30-minute evening star play. My only concern is this hourly is just ranging. That's why sometimes the lower time frame can get you trapped. We've been in this range since 4 a.m. London time. We have called some nice trades within this range, but it is still ranging. So if you do want to trade the range, just accept the risk and maybe reduce the size. Are you taking the double bottom on GC in consideration? Doesn't that go against your... doesn't that go against our bias of going short? Yeah, no, so the double bottom is exactly what we want to trade into. That's what gold loves to do. Gold loves to find double bottoms and come down and liquidate them before the next real move. So exactly the same as what we took yesterday, you know, buying up into the double top. Same thing here in Asia, selling into the double bottom. What do? People jump in longs here. If gold's going to have a true move up or down, it comes down, tags the lows, and then has the push. You know, exactly the same thing here. Look at this. What do? Come up, tag the highs, sell off. Tag the lows, push up. Tag the highs, sell off. Haven't tagged these highs just yet. We also haven't tagged these lows. So what do we do here in Asia? We got short into where? Into the lows. Tag the lows, pull back. That's my whole plan on gold, is trying to identify these liquidity levels and trading into them. That's what gold loves to do. And that's kind of what I'm, even here, look at this. Rips all the lows, then has the real push. So that's what that's my whole reason for going short, is I see double bottoms not as an opportunity to buy, but as a reason to go short. If I see double tops and double bottoms on gold, I want to be trading into them levels. Because that's where I know most people are trying to buy and set their stops, and that's not how gold moves. Might work in other markets, but for gold, if you see a double top or a double bottom, gold loves to come and manipulate them levels. And they're typically our exit. Yeah, scalping, yeah, exactly, man. Scalping into the liquidity levels, yep. What I prefer to do is, you know, what I used to do for liquidity is, you know, wait for these lows to get grabbed and then, you know, try and go long. I found I get a much better win rate when I can identify these levels and trade into them. Like yesterday, you know, rather than me waiting for this high to be grabbed and then trying to go short, or waiting for these lows to be grabbed and then trying to go long, I like to trade into the levels, because then I can get a good idea of an exit. Because there's nothing to say, you know, you can't grab these highs and just continue pushing higher. And if you wait for the levels to get grabbed and then try and trade out of them, sometimes you can just miss out on simple breakouts. So right now on gold, rather than me trying to wait for these lows to get grabbed and then trying to go long, well, if I short into these lows, well, there's nothing to say this can't continue having a much, much, much deeper rollover. And if I just wait for them lows to get grabbed and then try and go along, I'm trying to predict the markets. Whereas, in fact, gold has been bearish. So shorting into them lows, I'm still following this nice trend as well. And if we grab these lows and continue pushing down, and I don't short into it, and I hope that it's going to be a liquidity grab, I could miss out on a good trade. Try to explain that to me, and gold's high minute played. I don't want to be trading into manipulation. Yeah, literally, yeah. And that's all because I would be the one who would be, you know, selling here, sitting my stops just above, and always be getting squeezed out before the real move happens. Same here yesterday. Where were we buying into? Previous 4-hour highs. Well, there's your liquidity grab before then having the huge breakout. That's just what gold loves to do. Let me note down that as the Sammy strategy so I don't forget. That's what we like to hear. I'm not short yet on gold, guys. I'm not a huge fan of this range today. Patience will pay, guys. Patience will pay. So my levels here on gold, liquidity levels, are these lows here and these highs up here. So we kind of have two. We kind of got gold trapped, which is good. Could this high be a liquidity level? I mean, if it's current 4-hour highs, yes. Let's have a look. No, I don't really see a reason. I think if you tag these highs on gold, then I would rather buy into here. The reason I wouldn't see this high as a target to trade into is because that was a liquidity grab. That grabbed the highs and sold off. So I don't really see a need to tag these highs unless you break up, you reject from the highs, and I can go, okay. Now maybe people are starting to sell here. Sitting there, stops just above. And then I can now I can see if I can get my buys. But as of right now, I don't see a reason to buy into these highs. Not yet. I see more of a reason to short into the lows. But this price action intraday is not there for us just yet. But we got time here, guys. We got time. Like I say, one 5-minute candle with good volume can change everything for us. We execute when the time is right. We pull the trigger when the time is right. And that's how we stay consistent. Let's have a look at NQ. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, look at that NQ. Just ranging. No need to drain your mental capital watching NQ right now, guys. Stay patient, NQ. We've got time here, guys. Remember, you don't need to be trading multiple times every single day. You need to be taking good quality setups a couple of times a week. Quality over quantity. That's how you guys are going to become truly consistent and get consistent payouts. We'll see how many payouts we get from Topstep this month. See what July brings us. I think July could be a good month. July's already been off to a pretty good start. Of the month. We're only how many trading days are we in? Just over a week. Aaron, you watching the game tonight? Queensland versus New South Wales? No? I go for Queensland. I'm a Queenslander. Probably not too much, man. I don't really watch it too much. Up the Blues, New South Wales. Nice. Maybe we'll stay on. What time is it on? Will we put it on? 8 PM. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we did last time, yeah. Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe we'll watch it. Let's have a look here on gold. I think most markets are creating some space this morning, guys. Don't get FOMO. Don't chase anything. Head to head. Put me on paying 3,500. Nice, nice. Yeah, watch size. Yeah, it's the same. Uh, 15-minute trying to get back higher here, guys. The reason I'm not jumping in either direction right now is because this hourly to me doesn't really know where it wants to go. If I want to get long on gold, which I don't mind, buys up into here. If I'm going to do it, I'm not going to buy at resistance. I'm going to buy on a breakout of this level. And like I said, this range from here to here is 130 plus tick range. If I can take 50 of this range, I'll be very happy. So I'll be very happy to be patient for that as well. But if I try and force a trade in this range right now, by the time we do break out, you know, we're not going to stay in this range all day. By the time we do break out, if I can't sit on my hands when price is ranging, then I'm going to get frustrated when it does break out and I'm unable to execute it because I'm so, you know, emotional on that, you know, bad trade in the range, for example. Double top on the 5 minute before short. Let's see. What I'm kind of seeing here is we kind of tagged the highs. We tried to sell off. If we break out here, can we scalp this little range? I don't want to force it. We want to let the markets come to us. Let me just see the 4 hour on the currency here. Yeah, see 2 equal lows, but massive support. Big support. 4 hour almost close to flipping bullish here on the currency chart. 30 minute, I mean, if the 30 minute closes like this without tagging highs, then yeah, that is a buy. Anything that you wick the highs and sold off, grab the lows, pull them back. I can see gold from both directions, to be honest, guys. I can see gold from both directions. Yeah, ranging for FMC, yep. Also very likely, man, very logical. Very logical. It's just meeting minutes. But yeah, I think so. We're also ranging because we had a phenomenal sell-off yesterday, guys. Remember, we had a fantastic call on the gold shorts yesterday. You know, it doesn't matter what is coming up today. You know, any market that has had just a straight what 600 tick push down, of course we're going to range. You know, this is a lovely push. What do the markets do? They push down, then they range, and they might pull back and then continue selling off. So after that huge sell-off, a range isn't too surprising in these regions, guys. The thing is, though, when you range, like in here, you can still get your trades. You just need to be a little bit more patient. But a range around here on gold, after we huge sell-off yesterday in New York, continuation in Asia, it's no surprise. I don't mind trading ranges. I actually quite like trading ranges, but I'll still make sure I'm doing it at good levels. Press buy and sell at the same time if you can see both ways. Guaranteed win. Easy money. Oh, look at this. This 15 still looks bearish. This is like an evening start to try and push lower, but let's see this 15 close here, guys. 2 minutes, anything can happen. We came up, tagged the highs. I'm gonna get rid of this high. It's not of interest. Buy and sell stop on the next side of the hourly, whichever gets tagged first to the trade. I mean, if you break the highs, yeah, you're probably gonna push up. If you break the lows, you probably will push down. I think if you break these out lows, yeah, there's a high chance you'll fill in this level. If you break these highs, then maybe you might be onto something there, man. Yeah, I like ranges as well. I honestly, I feel like I trade ranges better than when price is pushing down. Like when prices push this down this much, I'm like, well, I can't really trade after that if I'm not already in it. But in these ranges, yeah, you can get great trades, especially when there's liquidity on both sides. Euros having a sell. Let's have a look. Euros having a sell off. Oh, look at that! Never tagged the highs, selling off. Is the pound serve? The pound was the nicest setup. So you tag the first high. If you close back below on the pound, I would be careful in the range. This, to me, if I was buying from here, this would have to be a management point. So I'd be sitting at break even here. You wouldn't keep that trade open as soon as you hit this first liquidity level, because that's our management point, where anyone who is, let's say, shorting here, stops are above. So you don't know what's going to happen above these highs. Again, this is the level where I'd say if the pound re-breaks this level, then more buys look great. But I would be careful getting trapped. Same as the euro. I personally am not a huge fan of selling the euro right now. To me, this still looks good for longs. Not yet, but this still looks good for longs. What am I missing? Oh yeah, nice. Living the life. Look at that. Nice. I mean, Greece, yeah, beautiful, man. Lovely. Let's have a look. It looks like a little bit of a range so far this morning, guys. Other than copper, copper's having a huge self. Almost 37 degrees. Wow, that's crazy. It's like what, 15 here in Australia or something. Lovely. 15-minute here on gold. We just had that 15-minute closure here, guys. Ended up closing bullish. Tagged the lows, closed bullish, tagged the highs, holding. So gold's in a little bit of a range here, guys. Don't force it. Like I say, if you force it and it breaks out later on, you're going to kick yourself. Stay patient. Patience pays, guys. Patience pays. Time to go to the beach. Yeah, beautiful, man. Enjoy. Try the first minute of a 90-minute range breakout. I haven't, but I know opening ranges on NQ and the New York session work very well. I haven't tried it for London, but range breakouts on NQ New York works very well. London, I'm not too sure. Base down under. Yes, I am, man. Base down under. I am. Where's 750 people, guys. You guys tuning in on Topstep stream. Be sure to drop a like to the channel. Subscribe. We do this every single day here as well. If we don't get a trade hit today, guys, you know we got all week. We've had a trade Monday. We've had a trade Tuesday. If we don't get a trade hit today, it's okay. We got the rest of the week. We're up nice and green on the week so far. Yeah, I'm basically on the Gold Coast. Yep. Gold opening range breakout in Asia seems to work well. Nice. I'll be keen to check some of the stats on that. Please have a look at UB and the Russell. Yep. What's that? Ultra bonds. Let's have a look. Let me just quickly see what we want to see here on gold. Just let me have a quick look, just so we don't miss anything. So what do we want to see here on gold? So came down, tagged lows, closed bullish, tagged highs, closed bearish. So it needs a little bit of time. Let's have a look. This is we just looked at this, right? Did we just look at this? So this is the weekly. So let's get rid of this for a second. Huge weekly rejection, massive daily support. Make or break level. Daily to me, we had a look at this earlier, looks good for longs. This looks good for buys. Not for a huge trade, but for a pullback. This looks good. Back up into 117 for a pullback looks nice here. Before then, potential continued selling. Because that's a very strong higher time frame rejection. Gold's starting to get some volume here, guys. I think a 30-minute breakout would make the most sense. You may get buys on gold closer to 9 AM. Let's see. Oh, nice, Aiden. Will you send them in the market chat, please, Aiden, just so I can have a look, man. Just so I can have a look on when we're off stream. I'll be keen to see it, man. Thank you, bro. I'll be keen to have a look, definitely, man. Yeah, so big weekly rejection, huge weekly resistance that we've been holding since pretty much the whole entire month of June. But you know, we are coming back down into major support as well. So big make or break level. I would say continued selling off would make the most sense. But intraday, longs to me look logical. Back up into these areas. Back up into like 117. Looks good. Gold trying to break out here, guys. I'm going to keep an eye on gold. This 30 minutes actually looking quite nice for a 30-minute fake out. The Russell. Let's have a look at the Russell. Has the Russell caught up with NQ and ES yet? I don't think so. No, nowhere near. What's that as a percent? 14, not bad. That's pretty good. So, trying to catch up here. Let's get rid of all of this. Let's get rid of this. This is the calls we spoke about. We called buys on Russell last week. I mean, this week looks good to continue pushing up into last week's high. Looks pretty good. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. Gold having a nice push here, guys. Let's have a look here. No bottom wick on the 15. No, I'm not gonna. Gold is having a nice push here, but there's no bottom wick on the 15. Can't get too hopeful just yet. Daily time frame here on the Russell, similar to ES and NQ. Bearish, Monday, Tuesday bullish. Buys up into last week's high, look good. Buys into last week's high, look good. Which is all the way back up at, what's that, 2280. 2280. You've also got a big trend line coming down, which I think a lot of people are probably getting trapped in some shorts. More reason to see some longs. I would say this is also a very nice target. This is kind of looking nicer than NQ and ES. Came down, tagged the lows here pre-London, broke out at 7 AM, and you've continued pushing here. Now, where you're coming into could give some pullbacks before then going higher. But overall, this looks bullish. In terms of new trades, I would say no new trades here. You would have been wanting to buy this 8 AM, 7 AM breakout, 8 AM continuation. But now you are back here. I would say if you can pull back before then, you may get some longs into the New York session. Overall, the Russell looks good for longs though. The Russell does look good for longs. Let's have a look at Bitcoin actually. What's Bitcoin been up to recently? Are we back to zero yet? Oh, not quite yet. Let's go. Where are we? What time is it? 10 minutes. Let's see. Weekly Doji. I think a pullback into 105 would be nice. Daily time frame. 4th of July bearish. Continued selling on Monday. Tuesday very similar to NQ. Came down, grabbed the lows. Longs actually here are looking good. Back up into 11,750. Gold is breaking out, guys, and I am watching gold, guys. I just want to. If you look at the 15 here on gold, there's no bottom wick on this 15. I mean, you got a little one on the futures. You don't on the currency, which is what is the most important. I don't see this and go, damn, like I should have been in this. Look at the higher time frame. What makes the most sense here on gold is if this hourly actually breaks out. You let the markets come to you. Let this hourly break out. See if we can actually break out and hold above here. Great. Then you got longs from 9 till 10 to 11 AM pre-London. Pre-New York. You got nice buys. Let the markets come to you. Don't feel like you've missed this. Hourly grab the highs here, close bearish. Never grab the lows, close bullish. You're continuing to push. So don't see this and be like, damn, what did I miss? I should have been. This is fine. This is the market showing us volume, showing us direction, and now we can see if we can get our trade. So this is kind of what we said here. We said if we come near to these highs and start rejecting, that could bring in some sellers, then we can get long. So now this is a level of interest to me here. And above here could bring in also a big short down into here. The first sign of volume that we've seen since like 8 AM here, guys. London open, pushed up, pushed down, squeezing higher. So if you can now pull back down without tagging these highs, then you actually could now validate some longs. See how this next 5 opens. It's coming close to the hourly close as well. But I know you see this volume spike. You're like, damn, like what did I miss? Like I should have been in from here. I should have been buying from here. But it's like, no, this is the markets confirming the move, confirming breakout, confirming volume, confirming direction, showing us its cards. Now we can execute off it. Our job is never to predict the markets. If you look at the higher time frame, and to me, where it doesn't make sense, that's fine. I wait, I let the markets break out, then I trade. And if you've done the exact same thing on Monday as well, there was actually an amazing buy here. And we took a little loss in here. And again, this is why higher time frame makes the most sense. Rather than trying to trade in here, let it break out, and then guess what? From here to here, you had 300 ticks. Rather than trying to force it in here and trying to predict that much. So kind of same thing as here is right now on gold. Like I said, if we break out here, I don't go, oh, what did I miss? I should have been. I go, great. This is volume. This is direction. Now I'm going to play this whole range that we spoke about earlier, and I'll still get my good trade. It's very easy to see the markets breaking out and think, damn, I should be in this, but it's like, no, this is good. This is what we want to see. So this is the markets for the first time this morning, actually showing us that there's volume, and very soon it could be time to to press that buy button. So don't get FOMO here, guys. This is good. Aaron, big thanks. A great show as always. I think Topstep need to get you on fast markets. Thank you, Stuart. I appreciate it, man. And definitely, man, definitely. It's just it's at like 2 a.m. for me. So once I'm back in Europe in August, we'll absolutely jump back on the fast markets. Absolutely, we'll get some good gold trades in New York session for sure. I appreciate you tuning in, man. Yeah, we did have chop volume. That's very true. We did have chop volume. But don't see this and get FOMO. You want to buy against a double bottom? You want to break the plan just to take a trade? That doesn't make sense. Ah, look at that. That's interesting, guys. Look at that. See, I did not see that. Apologies, someone actually said that 5-minute double top as well. I actually didn't see that. I've just seen that. Look at this. Look at this. Futures tricked us here. See how here you grab the highs and then pull back? You actually didn't do that on the currency. Here. That actually would have been again, in hindsight, but look at that. You never actually grabbed the highs. You created a double top. So what's that? That's a buy target. Again, it's easy to say in hindsight, but again, that's why I like to watch both charts. Where are you buying into? A double top. But when you're just watching the futures already grabbed the highs, which is usually it's the opposite. Usually the currency grabs the highs, the future doesn't need to. But in today's example, the futures actually grab these highs. So you wouldn't be buying this on the futures because your liquidity's been taken. That's what I was kind of saying there. You've grabbed these highs, so I wouldn't be buying here. I actually didn't realize on the currency. Where are we? On the currency, it actually hadn't been grabbed. So that's look at that, that's a nice target as he came up. Yeah, so now, again here, we look at this in the currency. Now you're tagging this double top. Now if you start to break out, you got sells all the way back down into these lows. That was a very, very nice double top there. Currency, man. Currency. That's why it's always good to watch both. That's why I like to watch both. Oh, ooh, could we be getting a breakout here? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Aaron Dakota collab on gold. Yeah, definitely. That would be cool. Let's see if we get Dakota on some stay up on time and join us in the London session. That would be cool. Absolutely. Ooh, it might be short time soon, guys. Shorts into the double bottom. Look at this. Again, this is why you don't chase the trades. Let the markets come to you. If you try to chase this up here, you're getting straight back into drawdown. This is why you don't chase the markets. Let the candles close, come to you, then you get your trade. Yeah. Good spot. Bounce right off that VWAP again. Look at that. That's huge. Maybe we should look into this more. That's huge. Again, like I say, because I don't trade off this, but that's pretty huge again. What's that? If you just scalp the... It's a 50-tick rejection off that VWAP. That's huge. That is massive. Even here, if you bought, where would you buy? Maybe above these highs? Squeeze into the VWAP. Yeah, VWAP again. I know. VWAP again. Be interesting to watch that more. But if it's a... Oh, sorry. Let me see some questions. Just joined. Maybe you've already mentioned. All good. Hourly downward trend line. Yes, definitely. There is. There's also some 4-hour lows first here, though. There's a very nice 4-hour double bottom on both charts, which I'd like to short into before then potentially buying. But yeah, there is an hourly trend line, big hourly trend line coming down. I just don't want to buy against this huge sell-off just yet. If I'm going to trade against this big sell-off, I would like to see price come down and liquidate the lows and then see if you can get the push. Yeah, adding VWAP right now, yeah. To all assets, the same. Not some more that was, yeah, yep. Yeah, 4-hour short into the lows first before grabbing the highs. Like if I want to go long term gold, I'd love to see price come down, tag these lows, then break out. Then I'll look for longs. These lows to short into make the most sense first. Again, guys, look at this. Look at these crazy wicks. Lots of wick rejections here on gold. How's that hourly just closed? So you're wicking the highs, Whack, grab the highs, close bearish, grab the lows, close bullish, grab the highs, closed pretty doji. I do, yeah, stuck right at that 3,300 level. Big psychological level here in the futures. I do like the sells here. I do. Sorry, no, I don't like the sells here. I do like the sells. I don't like the sells here. I don't want to get chopped up here. Zoom guys, give me 2 seconds. So with that being said, guys, you guys on YouTube, there's going to be no trades here for me in the hour and a half that we have jumped on. I do like these gold sells down into this liquidity level, which I advise you guys just to keep in your charts and just see how it plays out. I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. Still been a fantastic session with you guys. Shared a lot of value. I appreciate you all taking the time to tune in as well. And we'll be live again right here, same time again tomorrow, 7:30 here on the Topstep YouTube channel, guys. And remember, you have D coming on right after me as well, so be sure to stay tuned. And I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. We'll see if we can get some more trades. So stay patient, trade safe, and I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. Peace.